Hello travelers, this is going to be your Capricorn Sun, Moon, and Rising video for May 2024. The messages may not resonate with everyone, so I suggest that you check back to your Moon and Rising sign video. If you'd like to book a reading with me, you can go to my About box section of the channel, and there I have listed the reading packages, which include the number of minutes, the number of questions, the price, and the delivery method. Email me at, let me see if I can get it, at that address and say, hey Tara, I would like to buy a 45-minute reading, which by the way is my most popular package. And email me at that address and say, I want a 45-minute reading, and I will email you back with booking instructions and a payment link. Please know that if you don't receive the email from me, at least within 24 hours, to check your spam folder. It always goes to spam. So you may want to, before emailing me, add my email address to your contacts, and that should ensure you get my response when I reply. My turnaround time for producing the readings are 24 to 72 hours. I don't like to make people wait. So, because I don't like waiting. So, let's turn the camera around. There we go. And I'm going to rifle and shuffle the deck one more time before I place the cards down. Okay. One rifle. Let's cut the deck. I always like to see you guys, let you see me shuffling and dealing the cards. I hate those readers that just pull a card for you and say what it is. You don't know if that's really what they pull, if it's a pre-arranged, something like that. So, 7 of Wands, Ten of Swords. Let me turn my light on because it's looks kind of weird in here, and don't have my blinds all the way open because my neighbor is having a birthday party. He is 8, I think. And so it's a lot of people pulling up out in front of my house. Okay, 9 of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. I gotta move slow because when I move fast, the camera goes out of focus. The Moon, the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Swords. Something is about to change in your life, for sure, and you're struggling with it, whatever it is. Like maybe you don't want it to change, or at least maybe you fear the change. The 5 of Swords, 3 of Swords, and the Six of Wands. That's not bad. So what is over the entire reading? The overall energy? The Queen of Wands. Now, even though this is a Capricorn reading, the Queen of Wands is a fire sign. But, and even if you are a male, you can embody the energy of a female. So whether you are male or female, or take the male or female role as a Capricorn, this implies that you are an entrepreneur, you are handling your business, the kind of person who does that. So it's just an aspect of yourself. The cards are read past, present, future. Past, present, future. Interplay of the cards. What do I have? I have a lot of swords. 2 wands, 2 major arcana cards, and the rest are swords. So this tells me that there is a lot of mental energy involved in this situation. Let's talk about the Knight of Swords. Knights always only represent messages and news to me, but it is the kind of message that moves the situation along. I think this is relating to Mercury going direct, because in this here we have another horse. He's facing forward to the future. So this is, to me, represents news coming in after the or during the Mercury retrograde that changed everything, but now Mercury is direct again. So that means that the situation is going to move along. Okay? After the 6 weeks of being in an information blackout, so to speak. So we have 2 cards that are close to similar in the energy. A 7 and a 9. The 7 of Wands, usually this card to me just says that you had so many irons in the fire that it was hard to keep up. Look at the image. You got all the wands coming up at you from the bottom, but you're standing on the top of a hill, which means to me that you are in a better position than you realize. Also, you are wearing 2 shoes, like you are distracted. You had to get up quickly and handle things. But in the card being of 2 minds represents the 2 boots. Okay? But for me, it's always like you ever got up and went to work in a rush and you look down and you got 2 different color socks on your feet, or 2 different shoes, like that. It says that you have a lot of energy and determination and a good character to continue the fight. It feels like a rush kind of energy. I don't know what you were rushing about, but the 9 of Swords is a focus on completion of events. Let me back up. The 7 also represents a moment of self-doubt. Asking yourself a lot of questions. What the hell am I doing? What is going on here? Can I handle it all? The 9 of Swords is the same kind of energy where you stop and contemplate about how you're going to move after everything is over. But there has been something bothering you. Nightmares, insomnia, fear, anxiety, dark thoughts. Look at the swords. To me, they always go down in the direction of the head. And so that tells me that you are all in your head about whatever it is. Your job is to climb out of the darkness, climb up out of your mind, and pay attention and focus. Wheel of Fortune. Prepare for a big change in your life. I don't know what the change is going to be about, but it's a big change. And if you don't like where the circumstances are, the Wheel of Fortune says you need to take a look at your life. And what would you like to change? Right now, you can feel at the bottom of the wheel, but eventually the wheel goes back up. And it counsels the only way to not be bothered by ups and downs in life is to affix yourself in the center of the wheel. There are no cups here, but in fact, I just believe that it's mostly mental energy. It's not emotional energy. I'm not feeling that. So affix yourself to the center of the wheel. Here with the moon, this can be a timing card from one moon cycle to the other. I think our next full moon is, let me look. It will be on May 23rd, the sign of Sagittarius. Okay? So, perhaps this is a timing letting you know that between the full moon of April, maybe even the full moon of March to the full moon in April, or the full moon in April to the full moon in May. It depends on where you are in your life with the situation. Because some of you could have started last month. It could be going on currently in this month, or it can play all the way out until next month. So it's a timing to me. But the moon represents, first of all, your fears, also your imagination. It can represent delusions, hallucinations, and it is about those deep psychological things that bother us, that come up from the surface. The depiction of the moon card shows the domestic dog and the wolf. That's talking about trying to tame the two sides of ourselves. And while we do that, the crustacean comes up out of the water. So it's about emotions, yes, but not the kind of emotions that you give thought to. They kind of come up from underneath the surface. So I think there's something that made you fearful. The Ace of Swords kind of backs up this, because this is a 10, and 10 breaks down to 1 in the numerology. So all aces are related to the Wheel of Fortune, a changing energy, opportunity, and the Magician, which is the same thing. And the Ace of Swords says when it shows up, it's a card of great power and force, and you can best believe that something is going to change. It's inevitable. You can't help it. It represents communication, so written and spoken, on a phone, fax. It represents your thoughts. So in this respect, you need to watch the way you are thinking, so that you can make the best decision for yourself. It can be the excessive degree of everything. Fear, happiness, excitement, depression. It can be the excessive degree of everything. And it cuts both ways, because it's a sword. Here is a 5 of Swords. Whenever I see this card, whoever I'm doing a reading for, this figure in the front represents you. And it says that it's a 5. So 5s are changing energies, ups and downs, back and forth. Okay? It can represent arguments, fights, gossip, slander. It says that if you are in a dispute, you should stand up for yourself. Speak up. But there's a warning that says, be careful of fighting with other people, because you could end up sinking to any level to win. It can be about getting the last word in. And there's a repeat of 3 swords. Here, I think that these 3 swords, because he got 2 extra swords, to me, it always says, when you have thinking back on a situation, you go, should I have said that? Or should I have said this? Or should I not have said that? Or should I not have said this? Being of 2 minds. But it definitely is a conflict. And somebody said something that hurt your feelings. This is an attack on your feeling center. Maybe you said something that hurt somebody's feeling. So now your guilty conscience is coming up to bother you. It also says you may receive some unsettling communication, the 3 of Swords. It's a 3. And 3s are about decisions made, moving through on a decision, 2 options, making a decision and moving through on it. But it also says, 3, that there may be at least 3 people involved in a situation, and that there could be some delays before future successes are realized. Here I have 3 people here. Look. There are 3 figures there. And then it ends with a 6. A 6 is a number of balance and harmony. This card is about receiving your due accolades. 1 less than the 7, a 6. So this is about getting your name in the paper for some kind of award or degree or something in which you will receive attention for it. You can even, it even represents promotions. But the thing about the card is, because it talks about leadership. But can you see the horse's face? How he's looking back at the rider? Before this was a 6 of Wands, it was a 5, which indicates some other kind of conflict, a very heated conflict. This just may be yapping back and forth through text or on the phone or through emails or whatever. This is a heated conflict, 5 of Swords. And the card talks about triumph, if you see the image, but also being a leader. So all the people behind him, if you got other people that you've been fighting with, you need to thank them for helping you through it. You know, revenge is a dish best served cold. These people back here, they helped you get where you are. Even the horse says you didn't do it by yourself. His face is like, come on, I help you. I helped you. And so I don't know what this situation is about. I'm going to look at all these cards. I can't look at, the only card I can't look at is this one. And to me, it only signifies that Mercury has gone direct, and now you're going to be able to resolve the issue. So I will look at these cards as they relate to the moon and the Wheel of Fortune, even the Six of Wands. Now, we'll start with the Seven of Wands. It's inferring that your position is very strong, even though you may not be totally aware of it at the moment. Do not allow others to take advantage of you at any time. It warns, remain vigilant at all times. But it doesn't mean anything next to these cards. The Knight of Swords. It's the inability to relax. This leads to anxiety, sleeplessness, and depression. But it tells me nothing next to these two cards. The Ace of Swords. Next to the Wheel of Fortune. Depicts a feeling of hopelessness. It implies that you may be stuck in a situation that you are not happy with. The message is to focus on your goals with positive intentions. Do not be distracted by other possibilities. You may need to start over and not be distracted by other possibilities so that you do not feel as though you are stuck in a dead end. Ace of Swords next to the Wheel of Fortune. The Five of Swords. Implies that you have been involved in a conflict, and the nature of the conflict is that no one will win, as the parties involved will sink to any levels. A separation, a permanent breakup of a partnership or relationship of some kind due to the choices made by another is implied when the Five of Swords appears. It may be telling of the breakup or severance of an important relationship or partnership and the abrupt parting of ways. It could be warning of malicious gossip, unfair dealings, and or theft. So you are asked to remain wary. Three of Swords. This is another card of separation. Can indicate the Three of Swords a separation or severance of a close relationship. Be careful not to become quarrelsome, as this will lead to arguments, upheavals, misunderstandings, and upset. So you are asked to keep your emotions in check. If you have been waiting on some news, information, or documents, the Three of Swords tells you that it is on the way. It may be indicating that either you or someone very close may be experiencing second thoughts or a change of heart, which in turn will bring about a change in attitudes or behavior. I think this is the most important interpretation. Two of them. It indicates that it is time to let go of the thing that you know is no longer serving you positively in your life. For example, if a relationship which is no longer positive and growing is causing unhappiness, you must be allowed to die a natural death, regardless of the short-term pain. The Three of Swords has a sense of vision and understanding that makes the pain easier to bear. It implies that something sad or painful must be allowed to work itself out. It may be telling of a difficult and or painful issue which must be dealt with quickly, as some realities need to be faced and important changes made. In the short term, this may cause disharmony and feelings of loss, but long term, you may find the new changes to be exactly what was required, much like a blessing in disguise. It can be foretelling of family arguments and disputes. It may even lead to separations. It can also indicate that there is a focus on separation and loss, and implies that you may be experiencing difficulties in a relationship that could lead to loss, that could lead to separation. The cause of these difficulties is likely to be jealousy or interference by another party. 3 people. Now let's look at the 6 of Wands, because that's all the 3 of Swords tells me. So it implies that successful endeavors will attract public attention of some kind, be it an article in the newspaper or something more widespread. It asks that you take time to celebrate. You have been faced with difficult times, and now you are in a position to relax. It signifies a time of achievement, reward, success, usually in the public arena, and indicates a long-awaited goal, such as publishing a book, getting a promotion, or achieving success in any chosen field. That's it. So, I want to look at what the 3 of Swords is trying to tell me, because ultimately it looks like in the end you will triumph over this situation in whatever way that means. Like if you end up leaving all this fighting behind, celebrate it, that you were able to lead yourself out of the situation. So what is causing all the heartache? Lies, deception. Somebody who you trusted, you may not should have trusted, but it was hard for you to see that they were not good for you, because they were very skilled at lying to you and deceiving you. Sometimes this can imply a group of people. And maybe that's why the moon was there, because you couldn't see clearly. You sensed something was going on, because intuition is a part of this card. You may have sensed it, but you really didn't know it. And you saw at least you think you saw no signs of it. Donna Maritata. This is the servant. It talks about happy times, and even because she is waving a handkerchief, I don't know if you can see it right there, it says saying goodbye to something, but she is positive. This may help. These lies help you. Viaggio. Going on a trip. That's all it says. So I take it that the trip or the vacation is really a way of you saying, of you getting over whatever it was that had you in this state. and that's a good thing. So let's ask a question to the angel answer cards. Formulate your question. Oh, I guess that would... The answer is look for a sign. So maybe you haven't seen the deception and lies yet, and you should ask for a sign, because the sooner you recognize what it is, the sooner you can address it. You know what to call it. When you see it, you can name it and you can address it. But first you need to identify it. Your angels have a very special and specific answer to your question. You can expect to see signs right away that will have deep meaning to you. Sometimes people see white feathers to indicate that their angels are with them. Or they may smell scents from their childhood that they connect to a family member. Signs require focused attention, so be awake to the possibilities. Don't mistake synchronistic events for mere coincidences at this time, because they are a message especially designed for you. Don't mistake synchronistic events for mere coincidences at this time, because they are a message especially designed for you. And that's what I have for you, Capricorn, for May 2024. It's interesting. See you later.